Hey, welcome to Charlie's Open Mic. On today's show, we're going to hear the music of Bethany Joy. We're going to talk to her a bit about songwriting, and we're going to talk about how to communicate through music. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy this content, please hit subscribe down below. There's a button right over here. When I was a younger songwriter, I used to go to an open mic in Chicago. There was a place called the No Exit that I would go to every Monday night for open mic. And we would go in there and pack the place, and the room would get very chatty. And there was a musician there, an older guy named Pat. He was sort of a boogie-woogie piano player, a really talented guy, cared about all the musicians that would come in and play, especially the younger musicians. And as we got chattier and louder, and we'd start interrupting and creating a lot of interference for the other performers, Pat would take the stage and he'd just start screaming at us. That was effective for about 2 minutes. And then we'd all get right back into chatting away. As I started hosting open mics, I felt the need to try to quiet the audience. And in a lot of ways, I would take Pat's influence, and I wouldn't scream, but I would come off pretty condescending and sometimes a little foul-mouthed, and it wasn't the best me. Over the years, however, I've sort of developed a much better sense of how to not tell the audience to quiet down, but to encourage the audience to listen and to be more a part of what's going on and to really engage in the artists on stage rather than each other across the table. And something I didn't really even think about when we started doing this show was the idea that I don't ever have to tell you, as you're watching this show, to quiet down. The problem with that is that there's no feedback for the performer or for myself. Last week's show, we had J. Scott Franklin. In the comments section, I started noticing a lot of really kind remarks about Scott's performance and Scott's art. And to me, that became the way that you as an audience can now communicate with us. So please use that comment section. And if we're talking about songwriting or guitars or anything else, and you want to engage in the conversation, go ahead and use the comment section. I will constantly check that and respond to you, and hopefully the artists will respond too. When appropriate or when not appropriate. Well, on today's show, we have a wonderful songwriter. Her name is Bethany Joy. Please welcome Bethany.
I believe in people as a kind of idea. They can do no wrong. They don't choose the music. You just sing along. You just sing along. And it hurts sometimes, just the way I like it. And we cry sometimes, don't try to fight it. Ooh, and it's hard sometimes, I can't deny it. Ooh, and it hurts sometimes, just the way I like it. Did you choose your anger? Is it who you are? Was your father hard and maybe you just didn't get along? But you're grown up now and you're singing your father's song. And you thought you'd change, but it just turned out all wrong. And it hurts sometimes, just the way I like it. And we cry sometimes, don't try to fight it, yeah. And it's hard sometimes, I can't deny it. And it hurts sometimes, just the way I like it, yeah. To be human is to see you, man. Say, I know you didn't choose this, no. And to be human is to see you Say you didn't choose this, now I know you wouldn't choose. Images are blowing up my line. Where I used to get calls is now a stream of well-positioned lives. And the filter makes it hard to see your eyes. And the truth is getting harder and harder to find. Ooh, and it hurts sometimes, just the way I like it. Ooh, and we cry sometimes, don't try to fight it, yeah. And it's hard sometimes, I can't deny it. Ooh, and it hurts sometimes, just the way I like it, yeah. To be human is to see you, man. Say I know you didn't choose this, no. And to be human is to see you, man. Say you didn't choose this, now I know you wouldn't choose this, no. And to be human is to see you, man. Say I wouldn't choose this, now I know you wouldn't choose this.
That was a song by Bethany Joy. We've got her right here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. What was that song called?
Human.
Human. Bethany and I first met at a concert for the Roots of American Music at the Beachland Ballroom. Roots of American Music is an organization based here in Cleveland that does a lot of music education, utilizing a lot of our region's better musicians and songwriters. Tell us what you do with Roots of American Music.
Yeah, so I do a few things. I do a program called Stop the Hate that happens in the fall. I do an after-school program at Fatima Family Center with 5 to 8-year-olds every week. Mm-hmm. And I do stuff for them like gigs. I'll play gigs around town that they book. I did a Christmas gig last Christmas with them, and just various stuff that they need help with around the office.
It's a great organization. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the Stop the Hate program?
Yeah. So we've got a lot of artists that go to schools all over Cleveland, and we start with middle school and then we move to high school. You start by going to the Jewish Maltz Museum, the Museum of Jewish Heritage in Beechwood, and you tour the museum with the kids and they learn about the Holocaust and hate groups that are past and currently active. And then I go into the classroom a few times, 5 times total, and we talk about what happened, what they saw, what they learned, and how they feel about the state of the world. And then we talk about how we can stop the hate, and we write a song about it. So I have them write down lyrics, and then I take those lyrics home and I construct them into a song. I come up with the melody, with the chords, and then I come back and I teach them the song, and we all learn together, and they give me feedback, and they can change the song, add things, and so we make the song together, and then everybody performs at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the kids compete in whichever song wins. There's judges that the community picks. Whichever song wins, they get money for their class to go on a field trip of their choosing.
That's cool. And the kids get an opportunity to go perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is, of course, always a very, very exciting opportunity. In addition to your work with Roots of American Music, what else do you do?
So I'm an ASL interpreter, American Sign Language. I got a degree at Kent State in interpreting. I've been doing it about 7 years. And I've done everything from kindergarten up to senior citizens, everything in between. I've done education, medical, funerals, weddings, performances, speeches, so a little bit of everything.
Have you had a chance to do sign language interpretation during concerts, like for a musician like yourself and myself?
No, I don't really seek that out. There's a lot of interpreters that love doing that and are into looking at the lyrics and coming up with a really beautiful interpretation of it. But I'm always interested in performing and singing more than interpreting
That
the
makes
songs.
sense.
Yeah.
I always find it difficult just to sit in an audience because I want to be playing, which is I'm sure I'm not unique in that type of thinking.
Right.
But it is fascinating to me to see more organizations, Farm, who I'm wearing their T-shirt, FolkNet, I know the Indie Concert Series. I spoke with them recently this week, and they're always looking for ways to make their concerts more accessible for people and to be more inclusive. And introducing sign language, I think, is a really important thing because so much of this music is lyric-driven. So I'm glad that there are people who are interested in doing that, and I'm glad that you're performing music and letting them do it.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. Now, let's go back up a little bit. When you work with the kids in the Stop the Hate program, you write songs, and do you use a specific process each time with the kids?
Yeah, so I tend to not bring a guitar the first time, and we just talk and have them come up with a theme, what they want the song to feel like, so if they want it to be kind of sad or more upbeat and inspirational, and then I ask them to write lyrics, and just 2 lines per kid. Some kids don't really want to write the lyrics, and others are really into it. So then I take all that home, and I come up with the chords and everything, and it's so far it's been pretty successful, and 2 of my classes tied for first place last fall.
That's great.
2 high school classes,
Okay.
yeah. So it seems to be working.
Now, when you write songs, do you follow the same process?
No, it's the exact opposite
The
process.
exact opposite?
Yeah.
You follow the muse,
Basically.
basically?
Yeah, I try to. Guitar is my second kind of instrument. I'm more inclined vocally.
Okay.
So I try to come up with something on guitar that's interesting, and then I'll sing a melody. So whatever melody seems to fit, I'll come up with that, and then I'll just sing whatever. I'll see what words come out. I'll sing things that feel right, and if something happens that I like, I'll pick that thing. Ooh, I like that. What was that about? And I'll build a theme from that, and I'll build more lyrics off of that.
So you find meaning in your gibberish.
I do.
That's
yeah.
cool. That's
yeah,
neat.
it's all in there. It's just like what's in there, what that wants to come out. So I let it happen naturally. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, hey, that's Bethany Joy, and thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
We're doing something new. We're going to gift each of our guests with something for their appearance. And this week we're going to gift them with Coverage, which is a record that was made on my behalf a number of years ago. I was dealing with some extraordinary medical expenses and changes in life, and a lot of my friends, some of which have already appeared on this show and will in the future, banded together and they recorded my tunes. And so you can go ahead and take that home. And
Awesome.
I don't even know if you have a CD player or not.
I have it in my car.
Oh, cool.
Thank you so
You
much.
have an
This is
older
great.
car.
Yeah. No, well, it's 2015.
Okay. So
Wow.
enjoy that. That's Bethany Joy, and thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. When I begin working on a brand new record or a song or even this show, the first thing I ask myself is, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to communicate to you, the audience? And having this kind of intention helps me to put together something that I feel is meaningful and hopefully adding to the dialogue in this country and in this world that's going to make this a better place. When I'm done with all the production, the next stage is to listen back to what I'm saying and to really consider my own thoughts and my own words and how I've communicated that to you. Sometimes I'm not happy with the things I have to say, and I have to look back at it and hopefully change things in my own heart. And that's kind of where I'm going with this little dialogue. I think I can explain it much better, actually, by singing.
Like a cold wind blowing across the room, like I was standing there naked in a cold October moon. I know you're angry and you don't want to talk about it. No, I pushed too hard just to try to find the core of it. Wanna figure out the nature of our rage, and I wanna live in the communication age. And like the fireflies at night, the little shooting stars, the messengers of light, they always let me know where they are. I always wish life was simple like that, a little sign to let us know where we are at. Wanna figure out the nature of our age, and I wanna live in the communication age. Telephones and fax machines, computers that could read our dreams, digital technology when all I want is honesty. Wanna figure out the nature of our age, and I wanna live in the communication age. Won't you talk to me tonight? I want to understand the way that you feel tonight. And won't you talk to me tonight? I want to understand the way that I feel myself. I know you're angry and you don't want to talk about it. No, I push too hard just to try to find the core of it. Wanna figure out the nature of our age, and I wanna live in the communication age. And now I wanna live in the communication age.
Hey, thank you for watching Charlie's Open Mic this week. Thank you to Bethany Joy for joining us. And please hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next week.